We're rolling. And 5, 4, 3.
Hello, welcome to One on One with Jane. I'm your host, and today I have David here.
Hi.
And I have Marco here. He's probably thinking funny thoughts, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, not really, no.
Oh, I thought you were because you're giggling a little bit.
Well.
So, what got you into comedy?
I got into comedy because when I was growing up watching a lot of comedians back when Comedy Central actually had comedy shows on, used to watch all these different comedians, and I used to sit there, and just say, wow, that's exactly what I want to do. Life took a couple of crazy turns, but through marriage and going to the military and all these types of things, and finally at 35 was I able to finally start getting into it, but here I am.
Okay, so what's your favorite joke you say?
My favorite joke that I say, well, my favorite bit is probably it involves a fire pole getting stuck on a fire pole type of thing. But
yeah, being the fat dad.
Yeah, being the fat dad. Probably, one of my lead-in jokes has always been, I went to the eye doctor, and after the exam, he looks at me and goes, David, you got to drop the weight. And I said, well, what does my weight have to do with eyesight? He goes, well, if we're being honest, you're hard to look at. And that's one of my lead-ins.
So what about you with comedy? How did it all start?
I sketch stuff, SNL. My dad would let me watch SNL, and then also like the way I grew up, low-end economic disadvantage, and then also being mixed in an all white community, and then having all my family live in an all Latino community. I was never white enough for the white kids, and I was never Latino enough for the Latino kids. So I'd be at my home in my white South suburban area, and I'd be a spick, and then I'd go back to Detroit and visit my relatives, and they would call me white boy, but it's called Wedo.
Well, you look more Italian. So do you speak another language?
No, just probably taser. Is that a language?
Oh, no, I don't know.
That's fun. Him and I, growing up, it's kind of weird. He was always a city kid. I grew up in the country. For the big bulk of my childhood and teenage years, until I moved away from home when I was 22, I lived. My neighbors were cornfields, so it's kind of weird how you get this, have a guy from the city and then a guy from the country just kind of, get together, and yeah, we have way varying different styles of doing things, but it works. It works.
Yeah, well,
I think the cornfields probably encourage you to write. They're boring, and you have to make it more exciting.
Well, there wasn't much to do around the house. No.
Yeah,
wasn't.
that is kind of the way it works. I mean, I'm very social, and I'd be out, but not like I wasn't actually there. If I was in a crowd of people, I wouldn't actually be there. I'd be kind of like shut down and isolated. Mm-hmm. And he's in the middle of nowhere with nobody to talk to, and he's isolated also. So.
Yeah. One of the things, though, I don't know about you, but I love being on stage. I love doing my jokes. I love performing, but I don't like meeting new people.
Oh.
I don't like meeting.
They say a lot of comedians are shy, because I used to be shy.
Like, my wife will take me to an event, and I got to sit there and shake hands with 3, 4, 5 different people. That's not anything I'm really, and it's very bizarre, I think, but then again, there's far worse things I could be doing, I suppose. But I never really liked meeting new people.
Maybe your writing closed you in, because sometimes when people write, they don't want to really see anybody. They just want to focus.
Well, I am like kind of the opposite of Dave there. I'm like, sometimes I'll end up like the belle of the ball. You know what I mean? I love meeting new people. If something gets, if I see people off in a corner, how you go to a party and there's a large group collected, and you can see like a social order thing going on, I'll go over to the smaller group and try to get into them or whatever, maybe draw them into the larger group and shit like that. Like because chances are they have more of the interesting things to say, and I don't know, I'm a machine when it comes to collecting ideas and perspectives and stuff like that. I always have been, so.
Oh, that's good how you draw ideas off of people, too.
Right. You can't always draw the same ideas off of the same large group of people. And I've been a part of those large groups where people are like, they feel like very connected to me, and they're like, don't go over there and talk to those fucking assholes. They're fucking assholes. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but I mean, I've already heard your story like 20 times. Like, let me go over here and talk to these fucking assholes. And they end up being just cool, but like shy or socially awkward or whatever. You know what I mean? But they have just as good an angle as anybody else. I just got to find it. They're not going to bring it to me.
Well, I'd just like to thank both of you two for attending my show.
Thanks for having us.
We'll go this way because a lot of people catch colds, especially in the winter in Michigan. Well, thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in to One on One with Jane.